So many years ago, I remember my boss man, he bought this mobile home where this man was dead up off in there for about 2 weeks. It was during like the hottest part of the summer, right? So he brought it to the yard. A lot of us who was working at the yard at that time when he did brought it. So when he brought it off in there, man, some of that smell, man, of the melting flesh off the body, the bodily fluid, the bodily waste. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was just all over the place, But before we got to, the crime scene, they took out the bed, all that other stuff, all that really gooky nasty, really gooky nasty stuff. So they took all that out first. But like I said, when he brought it off in there, we was out there working. And all of a sudden, I just seen some of the guys just throwing up. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? They're like, oh, the mobile home. I was like, what's up with the mobile home? They was like, man, it stinks. So, boss man, he told us a little story about it. So we said, all right, okay. But I'm not going all up off in there. So he gave me this job. He was like, gee, I got a job for you, man. I need your help. I got everything. I got the suits. I got the gloves. I got 10 tons of bleach. I got everything you need to make this brand new. So I said, okay. So what you need me to do? He's like, man, I need for you to do what you do best. So I said, okay. So I went up off in there, looked at some things, and I was like, it's gonna be some work right here. So I got to work, I got to pulling up the floors, I got to pulling up the vents, as I'm pulling up the floors and stuff, you see all these dead bugs and stuff. I mean, you see little small drops of blood where it doesn't seep through. I mean, all kind of stuff, man. I mean, I go through the duct system, man, rip up the floor, go through the duct system, all the way from the front, all the way to the back. It's just loaded with bugs and stuff. So, after I get done with all that right there, taking apart everything, the kitchen, ripping up the floor, ripping up the wood and everything. I mean, I'm ripping it all the way up and out. So as I'm doing this job right here, all these other guys, man, they still coming through and they still throwing up, and they're like, gee, how can you do this? How can you not smell it? I'm like, dude, if you ain't never smelled death before, then it's gonna bother you. But if you have smelled it before, then it won't bother you. So, it just wasn't bothering me at all. I wasn't gagging. I wasn't even nothing at all. I was just, doing my little old thug dizzle thing, And, as I got to the back room, man, it really got bad. So I went back to the back room, and as I pulled up the carpet, to go through the floor to get to the duct vent, oh, man. The back of that duct vent, man, had like 10 tons of just dead bugs back there, man. I mean, just 10 tons. Maggots still moving. I mean, it's dead flies. I mean, everything. I mean, and the smell. The smell didn't really bother me, but it was horrific. I mean, it was like, oh my God. Man, speaking of biohazard, this right here is a biohazard here. 93, 94, Pontiac, Grand Dam, biohazard, y'all. So, biohazard doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be blood up off in there. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be a number of things. It could be, just a different type of bodily fluid, or, it could be snot, it could be feces, it could be all kind of stuff. I mean, that person, they may have hepatitis or something, so it might show on their record or something they got hepatitis, or they got some type of disease or something, so they have to mark that biohazard. I mean, it's been times to where we done actually found, body parts. Well, I wouldn't say body parts, but we have found, different type of stuff in these cars. I done came across brain fragments. I done came across brain splatter. I done came across broken bones from fingers, burnt fingers, chopped off fingers. You'll find all kind of stuff in these cars. You'll be amazed. I mean, sometimes, especially if it's in the summertime, man, that smell be so awful, man. I mean, it'll make a horse want to gag. I mean, man, it'd be some really foul stuff in some of these cars sometimes, and, sometimes we be kind of skeptic of looking into these cars, because sometimes we scared that we might end up poking ourselves with a needle that we don't see or something like that. So sometimes it does get a little bit scary when it does say biohazard, because it could be a number of different type of biohazards that's off in these cars, you know. So I mean, being in this little bitty crushing business for a while, man, you learn all kind of stuff about biohazards, and you know what you see and what you're not supposed to show on certain things, you know. So I mean, hey, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is, baby. So as I get done, as I get done doing my little thug dizzle, so I end up going to the store after I pulled up everything. So I go get new plumbing, I go get new wood, go get, go get everything new, start putting it all back together. So as I got done with everything, as I'm doing it and stuff, and people still coming by, they looking at the mobile home, you know what I'm saying, and some of the boss man friends coming over, they looking at it, was like, man, that smell is horrific. How can that guy just stand back there, not even gag or anything? I ain't got no mask on my face or nothing at all, y'all. No mask, no nothing at all. I'm just going up off in there, but I do got all my my personal my personal equipment on. Ugh, man. So after I get done of doing that job, maybe for like a whole month, and end up spending about close to about $3,000 of the boss man's money of putting it all back together. The floors, the duct vents, the installation, the piping, the carpet, everything, the whole 9 yards, man. Even bought a new sink, new cabinets, all that stuff was replaced. So after I replaced all that, and about a month later, y'all, he ended up selling that mobile home, y'all. He ended up selling the month later. But what I can say, man, you'll never know what you'll run into in this type of industry here. You'll never know what you might find. I didn't really find anything in that mobile home, really. It was just a lot of dead bugs, bad smell, blood here, blood there, bodily fluids here, there, I mean, just, like I say, parts of flesh, melting flesh, stuff like that, So, I mean, like I say, man, but just like I say, you never know what you might run into. You would never know. Biohazards, they could mean a number of different type of things of biohazard. Oh, come on now. This damn thing already went dead on me 4 times already today. Man. But like I say, y'all, man, we run into some crazy stuff and we do some crazy jobs up there, man. But that right there was probably my sickest job I ever done. But like I say, the smell didn't really just bother me at all. It really just didn't bother me at all. I just kind of and just kept on working. And just kept on working. Even boss man, he was coming off in there. He's got his whole rag over his face and stuff. Everybody came off in there, had all this stuff on their face. Oh man, gee, that stuff right there stinks. It stinks. It's bad. Hey, it is what it is, man. G Money, man, he could overcome a lot of stuff, man, and get a lot of stuff done, y'all. Man. But, like I say, the moral of the story, y'all, you never know what you're going to find in the biohazard, man. Especially in this type of industry right here. But y'all know what? It's lunchtime for me. Time for me to go get my grub on. Check my blood pressure, make sure it's good. And I'm coke. It's steady, baby. Y'all stay up, and I'll stay up. Peace.